You're lying comfortably, perhaps nestled in your favorite blanket, and a gentle sound drifts into the quiet space around you. Maybe it's the soft patter of rain against a distant window pane, a rhythmic, hushed whisper that seems to slow the world down. Or perhaps it's the subtle rustle of leaves in a breeze, a barely there symphony playing just beyond your immediate awareness. It could even be the steady, comforting hum of a quiet fan, a continuous, soft presence that fills the silence without ever demanding your full attention. This sound, whatever it may be, wraps around you like a familiar embrace, a subtle promise of peace, and as it settles, a quiet question begins to unfurl within your mind. What truly is sound? How does it arrive at your ears, transforming itself from an unseen ripple into something so intimately felt, so profoundly calming? We often take sound for granted, don't we? It's simply there, an integral part of our waking lives, a gentle guide as we drift towards slumber. Yet, if you allow your thoughts to linger, to softly trace the edges of this everyday miracle, you'll find that sound is not quite what it seems. It doesn't truly exist out there in the world as a tangible thing, waiting to be discovered. No, instead, it's a profound, beautiful dance between the physical world and the inner landscape of your own perception. A delicate conversation happening constantly, often without your conscious notice. Imagine, if you will, a single, solitary raindrop. As it falls, it gathers itself, shimmering for a brief moment before it meets the surface of a quiet puddle. It doesn't crash. It doesn't shout. It simply touches. And at that point of contact, a tiny ripple spreads, an almost invisible tremor moving outwards. Gentle and persistent. This ripple isn't the sound itself, not yet. It's the initial whisper of a story, a subtle disturbance in the calm, sending out delicate concentric circles across the water's surface. Your ear, in a way, is like the far edge of that puddle, patiently waiting for these ripples to reach it, to tell their tale. Sound, in its essence, begins as a vibration. Think of it as a quiet trembling, an imperceptible wobble in something solid, liquid, or even gaseous. When you speak, your vocal cords, those delicate strings nestled within your throat, vibrate, shivering with the energy of your breath. When a leaf rustles, its thin surface flexes and bends, trembling against the air. When a distant train rumbles, its enormous weight sends tremors through the ground, and those tremors then transfer to the air around them. Each of these movements, no matter how small or how grand, creates a tiny displacement, a gentle nudging of the particles surrounding it. It's like a peaceful hand reaching out and softly pushing against the very air itself. And this gentle push, this initial nudge, is where the magic begins. It sets off a chain reaction, a graceful cascade of tiny collisions. Imagine a long line of sleeping dominoes, perfectly aligned. If you gently tap the first one, it doesn't just fall alone, like it softly nudges the next, which nudges the next, and so on, creating a wave of falling. The dominoes themselves don't travel far, but the energy of that gentle tap travels beautifully along the entire line. Sound waves behave in a remarkably similar, quiet way. The air particles themselves don't travel from the source of the sound to your ear. They simply vibrate in place, passing their energy, their gentle nudge, along to their neighbors. It's a continuous, flowing transfer, like a secret whispered from one molecule to the next, traveling silently through the vast, open spaces of the world. This invisible passing of energy, this delicate dance of particles, forms what we call a sound wave. And these waves have their own gentle rhythm, their own unique shape. Some waves are long and slow, like the deep, resonant hum of an ancient bell, creating low-pitched sounds. Others are short and quick, like the light, airy chirp of a tiny bird, creating high-pitched melodies. The height of these waves, the strength of that initial nudge, determines how loud or soft a sound will be. A forceful push creates a tall, powerful wave, like a strong gust of wind through trees. resulting in a louder sound. A gentle whisper creates a small, delicate wave, almost imperceptible, resulting in a very soft sound. It's all just a matter of how the energy ripples through the air, softly expanding outwards from its source. Now, this may all sound a little abstract, a bit like trying to catch mist with your hands, but think about the most comforting sounds you know. The gentle lapping of waves on a quiet shore, each ripple building on the last, creating a continuous, soothing rhythm. The steady breathing of a loved one beside you, a soft, consistent movement of air. These aren't just arbitrary noises. They are complex patterns of invisible vibrations, each carrying its own unique information, its own quiet message. And your incredible body? This masterpiece of natural engineering is perfectly designed to gently receive these messages, to translate these unseen ripples into the rich, intricate tapestry of sound that fills your world. This process of transformation, from a simple tremor in the air to a fully perceived sound, is a marvel of biological precision and poetic grace. It reminds us that even the most seemingly ordinary experiences are built upon layers of extraordinary complexity, quietly unfolding beneath the surface of our awareness. You don't have to understand every intricate detail for the beauty of it to resonate within you. Sometimes, simply acknowledging the quiet wonder, the gentle intricacy of how a sound makes its way to you, is enough to lull your mind into a state of peaceful contemplation. As you listen to the subtle sounds around you now, perhaps the quiet hum of your own breath, or the soft settling of your home around you, try to imagine those invisible vibrations. They are moving through the air, light and unburdened, seeking out the gentle curves of your ear. They are not rushing. They are not pushing. They are simply traveling, carrying their tiny packets of energy, waiting for your remarkable inner world to receive them and transform them into meaning, into comfort, into a lullaby. And in this gentle anticipation, in this quiet understanding of the world's soft whispers, you find another layer of peace, allowing your mind to drift even deeper into the serene currents of relaxation. The very fabric of our universe, you see, is alive with these gentle oscillations, these perpetual quiverings, from the distant, unseen tremors of an earthquake far below the Earth's surface, sending deep, low-frequency waves rippling through solid rock, to the almost imperceptible flutter of a butterfly's wings, stirring the air with a delicate, high-frequency hum that our ears might never consciously register. Everything is in a state of soft, continuous motion, and each motion, however slight, has the potential to become a sound, given the right conditions and the perfect receiver. It's a cosmic ballet of vibrations, playing out across all scales of existence, a silent song waiting to be heard. Consider the air itself, this seemingly empty space that surrounds us. It's not truly empty, is it? It's filled with countless tiny particles, dancing and drifting, constantly bumping into each other in a gentle, chaotic embrace. When a vibration occurs, like a plucked string on a forgotten harp, it doesn't just create a single, isolated push. Instead, it creates a ripple of compressions and rarefactions, like a patient hand squeezing and then releasing a long, soft sponge. The particles are gently squeezed together, then allowed to spread out, creating areas of slight pressure and slight vacuum. This rhythmic squeezing and expanding, moving outwards from the source, is the very essence of a sound wave traveling through the air. It's a beautifully intricate pattern, unfolding silently, yet carrying all the information needed to become a symphony. And the speed at which these gentle ripples travel is quite remarkable. In the comfortable air around you, sound moves at a steady, predictable pace, like a calm river flowing towards the sea. It takes a moment for the distant thunder to reach your ears after you see the lightning, doesn't it? That slight delay is the journey of the sound wave, patiently making its way from the storm cloud to your listening space. But if that same sound were to travel through water, it would move even faster as the particles in water are closer together, allowing the energy to be passed along more quickly. Like people holding hands in a long line, passing a gentle squeeze down the row, and through something solid. Like the very bed you might be resting on, sound can travel with even greater speed and clarity, allowing you to feel a subtle tremor before you might even hear it. Each medium has its own unique way of carrying these delicate messages, its own unique speed of whispers. This quiet journey of energy, from source to listener, is a continuous story, playing out countless times every moment of every day. Your mind, even now as you drift, is unconsciously processing these incoming vibrations, sifting through the background hums, the gentle shifts in ambient noise, creating a landscape of auditory comfort. You don't have to strain, you don't have to concentrate. The process is simply occurring, naturally, beautifully, without effort. It's a testament to the seamless integration of your being with the larger world, a profound connection maintained through these subtle, unseen waves. Sometimes, when you are truly quiet, you can almost feel the vibrations of sound more than you hear them. Perhaps you felt the deep rumble of bass from distant music, a gentle tremor in your chest, even if the melody is too faint to distinguish. Or the subtle vibration of an appliance working quietly in the next room, a soft thrumming that you perceive more as a sensation than an audible noise. These are moments when the raw, physical essence of sound, its vibrational nature, reveals itself to you directly, before your clever brain has fully transformed it into a recognizable auditory experience. It's like feeling the quiet power of a river through the ground before you see its winding path. So, as you continue to relax, imagine the world around you as a vast, gentle orchestra of vibrations. Every rustle of fabric, every soft breath, every distant murmur is contributing to this intricate, ever-changing tapestry of energy. And you, nestled in your peaceful space, are an intrinsic part of this cosmic harmony, a sensitive receiver, delicately tuned to the quiet whispers of the universe. There's no need to grasp at it, no need to hold it tight. Simply let the understanding of these soft, unseen movements wash over you, like a soothing current, carrying your mind gently towards the shore of deep slumber. This quiet wisdom, this beautiful truth about how the world speaks to you through its subtle tremors, is a perfect companion for your journey into rest. Allow it to cradle your thoughts, softening the edges of your awareness. As you drift further and further into the peaceful embrace of the night, you're floating now, perhaps in a gentle dream, where the air itself feels different, alive with unseen currents. The subtle hum you might still perceive, or the quiet murmur of the world settling into night, is not just a collection of random noises. No, it is a testament to the intricate dance of invisible forces, a profound demonstration of how vibrations ripple, unseen, through the very air, carrying their soft messages across distances vast and small. Tonight, let's gently consider the invisible medium that brings these sounds to you, the wondrous, unseen ocean of air that surrounds us all. Imagine the air around you not as empty space, but as an enormous, boundless field of tiny, endlessly moving particles. These are the molecules of nitrogen, oxygen, and all the other gases that make up the atmosphere, constantly drifting, bumping, and interacting in a beautiful, silent ballet. They are like countless delicate marbles, floating in a vast, unseen sphere, each one capable of gently nudging its neighbor. This quiet, ceaseless motion is the perfect foundation for sound to travel, for whispers to become journeys. When a source vibrates, like a delicate bell softly chiming in a distant garden, it doesn't send out physical pieces of itself. Instead, it creates a subtle disturbance, a gentle push against these invisible air particles closest to it. Think of it like dropping a smooth pebble into a perfectly still pond. The pebble doesn't travel across the pond to reach your eye, it simply creates a ripple, a wave of disturbance that spreads outwards. Similarly, the vibrating source of a sound creates a compression, an area where the air particles are gently squeezed together, becoming momentarily denser. This compression then pushes against the next layer of particles, which in turn push the next, and so on in a continuous flowing motion. But just as a wave on the pond has peaks and troughs, a sound wave in the air has its moments of gentle expansion. After the compression passes, the particles spread out, creating a rarefaction, an area where they are momentarily less dense, more spread apart. So, a sound wave traveling through the air is a harmonious sequence of these compressions and rarefactions, pushing and pulling, gently squeezing and then releasing, creating an invisible, undulating pattern that moves gracefully away from its source. The air particles themselves merely oscillate back and forth, like tiny, patient dancers swaying in place, while the energy of the sound, its very message, flows onward, unburdened and free. This delicate dance of pressure changes is what defines a sound wave in air. The frequency of these waves, or how many of these compressions and rarefactions pass a given point in a second, determines the pitch of the sound you hear. A high-frequency wave, with many rapid compressions and rarefactions, creates a high-pitched sound, like the ethereal singing of a far-off bird. A low-frequency wave, with fewer, slower pressure changes, creates a deep, resonant sound, like the low, comforting rumble of distant thunder. It's like a quiet loom, weaving threads of air into patterns that define the very notes of the world's song. The amplitude of the wave, on the other hand, refers to the intensity of those pressure changes, how much the air particles are truly squeezed or spread apart. This amplitude determines the loudness of the sound. A large amplitude wave, where the particles are compressed and rarefied quite dramatically, creates a loud sound, like the vibrant splash of a fountain. A small amplitude wave, with only subtle pressure changes, creates a soft, gentle sound, like the almost silent unfurling of a new leaf. So, every sound you hear, from the softest whisper to the gentle murmur of a stream, is simply a variation in these invisible pressure patterns, gently playing out around you. It's a deeply strange idea, but also kind of beautiful, isn't it? That the very air we breathe, and which seems so still and silent at times, is constantly alive with these unseen rhythms, these ceaseless movements, carrying stories from every corner of our world. These waves travel outwards in all directions from their source, like an ever-expanding, invisible sphere, patiently radiating energy into the vastness. They don't discriminate, they simply travel, waiting for a receiver, a listener, to interpret their subtle language. Think of a spider's web, stretched delicately between branches on a misty morning. If a tiny dewdrop falls onto one strand, it sends a tremor through the entire silken structure. The individual threads don't move far, but the vibration, the message of contact, travels swiftly and subtly to the waiting spider. Your ears are, in a poetic sense, akin to that incredibly sensitive web, designed to detect these minuscule atmospheric tremors, to feel the gentle nudge of distant vibrations. This quiet, continuous interaction between vibrating objects in the air is fundamental to our experience of the world. Without this invisible medium, sounds as we know them simply wouldn't exist. In the silent, empty void of space, where there are no particles to carry these gentle nudges, there is no sound, only the vast, profound quiet. It's a humbling thought, isn't it? That the vibrant tapestry of sounds we enjoy is entirely dependent on the presence of this invisible, everyday companion, the air. And so, as you drift further into the realm of peaceful contemplation, allow your mind to gently embrace this understanding. The sounds that lull you now are not just random noises, they are the quiet symphony of the air, responding to the gentle pulses of the world. Each soft rustle, each distant whisper, each comforting hum is a wave of pressure, a tender vibration, patiently making its way to you, ready to be received by your remarkable inner mechanisms. There's a profound beauty in this unseen process, a quiet marvel unfolding constantly, inviting your consciousness to gently release its hold and simply flow with the rhythmic, unseen currents that carry sound. Let the understanding of these invisible waves cradle your thoughts as you prepare to surrender to the deeper, more profound quiet of slumber. The air, ever present, ever flowing, is now whispering its most comforting lullabies, guiding you gently into the peaceful depths of rest. You're drifting deeper now, perhaps feeling the soft currents of a dream pulling you gently, like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. And as you float, imagine a quiet threshold, a delicate gateway where the invisible whispers of the air begin their transformation into something your inner world can truly comprehend. This is the wondrous realm of your outer and middle ear, the first elegant reception hall where the air gently beckons your ear, inviting the subtle dance of sound to continue its journey within you. Consider your outer ear, that delicate curving structure you see and touch. It's not just a decorative part of your head, it's a beautifully designed instrument, a natural funnel, intricately sculpted to gently gather those invisible sound waves we spoke of earlier. Think of it as a soft, patient hand cupped behind a faint whisper, guiding the delicate ripples of air inwards, directing them towards the hidden pathways of your hearing. The scientific term for this outer part is the pinna, and its unique, convoluted shape is perfectly suited to collect sound waves, especially those coming from in front of or to the side of you, subtly enhancing their journey towards the deeper, more sensitive parts of your ear. It's like a gentle scoop, patiently gathering the faint murmurs of the world. As these collected sound waves drift inward, they enter a quiet, narrow tunnel, a gentle passageway known as the ear canal, or the auditory canal. This tunnel is lined with soft skin and delicate hairs, and it even produces a small amount of cerumen, or earwax, which acts like a protective balm, guarding against dust and tiny, unwanted visitors, ensuring that the sound waves have a clear, smooth path. The ear canal gently amplifies certain frequencies, almost like a subtle resonating chamber, preparing the sound waves for their crucial next step. Imagine a quiet, winding path through a peaceful garden, leading to a hidden, shimmering gate. The sound waves are now on this path, flowing serenely towards their destination. At the very end of this tranquil ear canal lies the shimmering gate itself, the eardrum, or more formally, the tympanic membrane. This incredibly thin, delicate membrane is stretched tightly, like the taut surface of a tiny, ancient drum. When the sound waves, those subtle compressions and rarefactions of air, finally reach the eardrum, they meet this delicate surface and, with their gentle pressure, cause it to vibrate. It's not a violent striking, but a soft, rhythmic tremor, like the faintest ripple spreading across the surface of a perfectly still pond when a tiny feather lands upon it. The eardrum begins to hum, to dance to the rhythm of the incoming sound waves, faithfully mimicking their frequency and amplitude. This vibration of the eardrum is the critical first translation, the moment when the energy of the sound wave shifts from the air into the solid, physical realm of your ear. But the journey doesn't stop there. Immediately behind the eardrum, nestled in a tiny, air-filled chamber called the middle ear, lies a true marvel of miniature engineering, a chain of 3 incredibly small bones, the tiniest bones in your entire body. These bones are known collectively as the ossicles, and individually, they are named for their shapes: the malleus hammer, the incus anvil, and the stapes stirrup. Imagine a delicate, ancient clockwork mechanism, each tiny gear perfectly aligned to transmit subtle movements. The malleus is connected directly to the vibrating eardrum. As the eardrum trembles, the malleus gently sways with it, like a tiny pendulum. This movement is then passed, with exquisite precision, to the incus, which in turn passes it to the stapes. This chain of 3 tiny bones acts as a wondrous lever system, a natural amplifier. They don't just transmit the vibration, they actually concentrate and amplify its force, gently increasing its power before sending it deeper into the ear. It's like a sculptor gently refining a raw piece of clay, preparing it for its final, intricate form. Now, this may sound a little complex, these tiny bones and membranes working in unison, but the beauty lies in their seamless cooperation. The middle ear, for all its delicate machinery, also has a crucial connection to the outside world, albeit a quiet one, the eustachian tube. This tiny tube connects the middle ear to the back of your throat, and its purpose is simple yet vital to gently equalize the air pressure on both sides of your eardrum. When you yawn or swallow, you might feel a subtle pop in your ears. That's the eustachian tube quietly opening, ensuring the pressure is balanced, allowing your eardrum to vibrate freely and accurately. Without this gentle balance, your hearing would feel muffled, like trying to hear a soft whisper through thick water. Consider the gentle precision of this entire process, from the wide, welcoming curve of the pinna, gathering the sound, to the narrow, protective ear canal, guiding it gently inward to the delicate eardrum, trembling in harmony with the invisible waves, and finally to the three tiny bones, gracefully amplifying and transmitting that tremor. Each step is a marvel of natural design. It's a testament to the quiet intelligence of your own body, transforming the chaotic dance of air particles into a rhythmic, coherent signal, preparing it for the profound transformation that awaits it deeper within the secret chambers of your ear. This entire initial phase of hearing, often taken for granted, is a profound example of nature's quiet brilliance. It reminds us that even the most fleeting sounds, the softest whispers of the wind, or the distant, soothing rhythm of falling rain, are products of an extraordinary chain of events happening within you, silently, ceaselessly. There's no need for loud fanfare or dramatic displays. The wonder lies in the gentle precision, the effortless beauty of how the world begins its conversation with your inner self. Simply by touching the delicate surfaces of your outer and middle ear, let this quiet understanding settle over you now, like a comforting blanket, allowing your mind to drift deeper into the serene currents of knowledge and rest. You're floating deeper still, beyond the gentle gateway of the eardrum and the tiny, dancing bones, into a realm of hushed beauty, a secret chamber within your own being. This is the wondrous landscape of the inner ear, a place where the rhythmic vibrations you've so far encountered take on a new, liquid form, embarking on a silent, winding journey. Tonight, let's explore this delicate, hidden world, focusing on the remarkable cochlea, that tiny, spiral-shaped marvel where subtle movements become a silent flow within a hidden spiral. Imagine, if you will, a tiny, exquisite seashell, perfectly formed and translucent, nestled deep within the protective bone of your head. This is your cochlea. Its name derived from the Greek word for snail, perfectly describing its beautiful, winding shape. But unlike an empty seashell, this delicate spiral is filled with a special fluid, a gentle, clear liquid that serves as the next medium for the sound wave's profound transformation. The stapes, that tiniest of bones from your middle ear, rests against a tiny, oval-shaped window at the entrance to this fluid-filled world, like a gentle pestle tapping lightly on a delicate membrane. As the stapes vibrates, nudged by the movements of the eardrum and the other ossicles, it creates tiny, rhythmic pushes against this fluid. With each gentle push, a wave is generated within the liquid inside the cochlea. It's not a chaotic splash, but a graceful, undulating ripple, flowing steadily through the spiral chambers. Much like a quiet current in a hidden underground river, this fluid-filled spiral is intricately divided into three main parallel canals, winding around a central bony core. The incoming wave of fluid pressure travels up one canal, reaches the apex of the spiral, and then gently descends back down another. This journey, though microscopically small, is crucial. As the fluid wave moves, it subtly deforms a flexible membrane that runs almost the entire length of the cochlea, called the basilar membrane. Think of this membrane as a long, delicate ribbon, stretched taut within the liquid, patiently waiting for the gentle persuasion of the passing fluid waves. Now, here's where the true genius of the cochlea's design begins to unfurl, like a delicate flower opening its petals. Different parts of the basilar membrane are tuned to respond to different frequencies, different pitches of the incoming sound wave. The base of the cochlea, closest to where the stapes makes its gentle tap, is narrower and stiffer, and it responds most vigorously to high-frequency sounds, like the clear, ringing tone of a tiny bell. As the fluid wave travels deeper into the spiral, the basilar membrane becomes wider and more flexible, allowing it to respond more profoundly to low-frequency sounds, like the deep, comforting hum of distant thunder. It's as if this delicate membrane is a long, exquisitely tuned harp string, with different sections resonating to different notes of the world's quiet symphony. So, as a complex sound wave, perhaps the gentle melody of a lullaby enters your cochlea. It doesn't just create one uniform ripple. Instead, it creates a pattern of movement along the basilar membrane, a subtle, undulating landscape where different sections vibrate most intensely according to the specific pitches present in the sound. This is known as tonotopic organization, a beautiful, elegant principle of how your ear physically sorts out the diverse frequencies of sound, laying them out in a spatial map before they even become an electrical signal. It's like a quiet librarian, meticulously arranging books by genre, so that each specific sound has its own gentle resting place along the membrane. This transformation of mechanical vibrations into fluid waves and then into patterned movements along the basilar membrane is a silent, continuous process, happening far beyond the realm of your conscious thought. It's a testament to the incredible unseen work your body performs moment by moment, tirelessly translating the physical world into a language your brain can understand. There is no urgency here, no rushing or pushing, simply the steady, rhythmic flow of energy, gently guided deeper and deeper into the quiet heart of your hearing. It's a deeply strange idea that a symphony of sounds, a whispered secret, or a soothing melody all begin as tiny, invisible nudges of air, which then become mechanical vibrations, and then transform into microscopic waves of fluid, gently undulating within a tiny, hidden shell. Yet, this intricate chain of events unfolds with such perfect, serene precision that you never once feel the inner mechanics at play. You simply experience the beautiful outcome, the rich, nuanced tapestry of sound that fills your world with comfort and connection. As you allow your mind to drift now, imagine the quiet journey of a single sound wave, entering that seashell-like cochlea. Feel its gentle pressure creating a tiny wave in the fluid, flowing slowly through the spiral, causing the delicate basilar membrane to subtly respond. A unique pattern of ripples unfolding just for that specific sound. It's a profound, beautiful mystery happening within you. Right now, as you prepare to surrender to the peaceful depths of slumber, let the image of this silent flow, this hidden spiral, lull your thoughts into an even deeper state of calm. As you gently surrender to the unfolding quiet of the night, you're floating deeper into the quiet current of your thoughts, carried by the gentle understanding of how sound has traveled through the air and transformed into liquid ripples within the cochlea's delicate spiral. Now, we arrive at the very heart of this transformation, a place of extraordinary wonder, where the subtle physical movements are finally translated into the silent language of your nervous system. This is the realm of the hair cells, those tiny, ethereal structures nestled along the basilar membrane, like a field of soft, microscopic reeds, gently swaying to the silent flow. Here, in this hidden, sacred garden, is where the garden of hair transforms the silent music. Imagine the basilar membrane, that exquisite tuned ribbon within your cochlea, as a long, shimmering pathway. Along this pathway, arranged in neat, delicate rows, are thousands upon thousands of these specialized hair cells. Each cell is topped with a cluster of incredibly fine, hair-like projections, aptly named stereocilia. These are not like the coarse hairs on your head. They are unimaginably delicate, almost like gossamer threads. It's designed with exquisite sensitivity to respond to the most subtle of movements. They are the true marvels of your auditory system, the ultimate translators of vibrational energy into electrical signals. As the fluid waves gently undulate through the cochlea, causing the basilar membrane beneath them to softly ripple. These tiny stereocilia are coaxed into a delicate dance. They bend and sway, much like slender reeds underwater, gently yielding to the passing currents. Each specific pitch, each unique frequency of sound, creates a distinct pattern of movement along the basilar membrane, and consequently, a distinct pattern of bending among these hair cells. For example, a high-pitched note might cause the hair cells near the base of the cochlea to sway more vigorously, while a deep, low hum might prompt a more profound bending in the cells closer to the spiral's apex. This bending, however slight, is truly momentous. It's not just a physical movement, it's the trigger for a miraculous internal shift. At the very tips of these delicate stereocilia are tiny, almost invisible channels like miniature gates. When the hairs bend in a particular direction, these gates are gently pulled open, and when these gates open, infinitesimally small, charged particles, known as ions, gently flow into the hair cell. This influx of ions creates a tiny, whisper-thin electrical signal, a momentary spark of energy. It's like a hidden switch being softly flipped, transforming the physical language of movement into the silent, electrical language of the nervous system. There are two main types of these remarkable hair cells: inner hair cells and outer hair cells. The inner hair cells, arranged in a single, neat row along the basilar membrane, are the primary sensory receptors. They are the ones directly responsible for converting the fluid vibrations into the electrical signals that your brain will eventually interpret as sound. Think of them as the lead vocalist in this quiet choir, directly shaping the melody of your perception. The outer hair cells, on the other hand, are arranged in 3 to 5 rows and play a more subtle yet equally fascinating role. They don't primarily send signals to the brain. Instead, they gently respond to the electrical signals from the brain and also to the vibrations themselves by actually changing their length. This tiny, almost imperceptible contraction and expansion of the outer hair cells amplifies the movement of the basilar membrane. It's like tiny, silent dancers, actively enhancing the performance, making the inner hair cells even more sensitive to faint sounds and allowing your ear to distinguish between very similar frequencies. They are the quiet, diligent stagehands, meticulously refining the acoustic landscape, ensuring that even the softest whispers are perfectly clear. This intricate dance of the hair cells, this precise conversion of mechanical energy into electrical impulses, is truly one of nature's most profound miracles. It happens continuously, effortlessly, turning the most delicate of air tremors into the rich, vibrant tapestry of your auditory world. Without these fragile yet incredibly resilient hair cells, the subtle symphony of the universe would remain unheard, a silent hum forever trapped in the fluid of your inner ear. It's a profoundly beautiful thought, isn't it? That deep within the protective quiet of your head, a garden of microscopic hairs is perpetually swaying, translating the world's softest murmurs into the very essence of your perception. This constant, intricate work is a testament to the elegant efficiency of your biological design, a silent, ceaseless process that brings meaning and connection to your every moment. As you drift even further into the peaceful embrace of slumber, allow the image of these tiny, diligent cells, gently working in the hidden garden of your ear, to lull your mind into an even deeper state of calm. Their silent labor is now creating the perfect quietude for your journey into profound rest. You're floating peacefully now, the gentle hum of the world a soft backdrop to your inner tranquility. We've witnessed the invisible airwaves, their transformation into fluid ripples, and the delicate dance of the hair cells, converting gentle movements into tiny electrical whispers. Now, we arrive at the next profound stage of this journey, The moment when these whisper-thin electrical signals embark on their silent, crucial travel along the auditory nerve, heading towards the grand, processing centers of your brain. This is where the silent signals journey to the mind's quiet door, a subtle yet incredibly vital progression. Imagine, if you will, the inner hair cells, those diligent translators within the cochlea, each gently firing off its minute electrical impulse. These impulses aren't loud bursts of energy. They are more like the faintest flickers of distant fireflies in a quiet field, each a tiny spark carrying a specific piece of information about the sound that just entered your ear. And from these hair cells, delicate thread-like extensions, like gossamer pathways, reach out to connect with the neurons of the auditory nerve. This auditory nerve is not a single cable, but rather a bundle of countless individual nerve fibers, each one a dedicated messenger. Each fiber is patiently waiting to pick up the electrical whisper from a specific hair cell, a whisper that encodes details about a particular frequency or intensity of the sound. Think of it as a vast, intricate network of tiny, unseen wires, all meticulously organized, ready to transmit their unique messages. This collective stream of electrical impulses, generated by the bending of thousands of hair cells, forms the raw, foundational data of the sound you are hearing. Now, as these silent electrical messages embark on their journey, they don't just take a direct, straight path to your conscious awareness. No. The path to understanding sound is a complex, multi-layered odyssey through various processing centers within your brainstem and midbrain. These centers act like gentle way stations, quiet sorting hubs, where the raw electrical signals are subtly refined, organized, and prepared for higher-level interpretation. It's like a peaceful river flowing through several quiet pools and eddies, each one subtly shaping the current before it reaches the wide, open sea. The first major stop for these traveling impulses is typically the cochlear nucleus in your brainstem. Here, the incoming electrical patterns are gently analyzed for their basic characteristics, like the timing of the impulses. This early processing helps in determining the direction from which a sound is coming, even before you consciously register it. Imagine a tiny internal compass, quietly orienting the incoming sound streams, figuring out if that soft rustle is coming from your left or your right. From the cochlear nucleus, the signals gracefully ascend to other brainstem structures, such as the superior olivary complex. This area is particularly skilled at comparing the subtle differences in timing and intensity of sounds arriving at your two ears. This comparison is a crucial step in accurately pinpointing the exact location of a sound in space. It's like having two highly sensitive antennae, constantly triangulating the source of every whisper and hum, ensuring your brain knows precisely where to focus its attention. Further along this quiet pathway, the impulses reach the inferior colliculus in the midbrain. This region acts as a sophisticated relay station, integrating information not just from both ears but also from other parts of the brain. It's involved in processing more complex aspects of sound, such as filtering out background noise or preparing the brain for a specific auditory stimulus. Think of it as a patient librarian, quietly organizing the incoming auditory data, cross-referencing it, and preparing it for the main archive. Finally, before reaching the conscious awareness of your brain's outer layers, the signals make a crucial stop in the medial geniculate body of the thalamus. The thalamus, often referred to as the brain's sensory relay station, is like a calm, central hub, meticulously routing sensory information to the appropriate areas of the cerebral cortex. Here, the auditory signals receive their final polish and organization before being gently passed on to the primary auditory cortex, the place where true perception begins. This entire journey, from the delicate bending of a hair cell to the arrival at the thalamus, happens in mere milliseconds. A silent, continuous flow of electrical information. It is a testament to the incredible efficiency and speed of your nervous system, effortlessly translating the physical world into the intricate language of your brain. There's no drama, no rushing, simply the quiet, persistent transmission of vital information carried by these tiny electrical signals through the dark, warm pathways of your inner being. As you drift now, feel the deep peace that comes from understanding this unseen process. The sounds that gently lull you are not just reaching your ears, they are embarking on a profound, internal journey, a silent relay race of information, effortlessly moving through the quiet chambers of your brain. Each gentle pulse of electricity, each whispered message, is guiding you deeper into a state of profound relaxation, preparing your mind to fully surrender to the comforting quietude of slumber. Allow this understanding to envelop you, a soft, soothing current carrying your thoughts further into the peaceful depths of rest. You're floating in a space of quietude, carried by the subtle currents of the journey sound takes within you. We've followed the invisible vibrations as they transformed into gentle fluid waves, then into delicate electrical whispers, and finally, embarked on their silent path through the intricate pathways of your brainstem. Now, these meticulously organized signals have arrived at their ultimate destination, the vast, intricate landscape of your cerebral cortex, specifically the auditory cortex, nestled deep within the temporal lobe of your brain. This is the wondrous moment, the grand culmination, where echoes truly become sound. Imagine this part of your brain not as a rigid computer, but as a magnificent, sprawling library, filled not with books, but with a lifetime of auditory experiences, memories, and patterns. Or perhaps visualize it as a grand, silent art studio, where raw pigments, the electrical signals, are finally mixed and brought to life, transforming into vibrant, meaningful masterpieces of sound. This is where the electrical impulses, which until now were simply patterns of energy, are finally read, interpreted, and given meaning. The primary auditory cortex is where the most fundamental processing of sound perception occurs. Here, the raw information about pitch, how high or low a sound is, and loudness, how intense a sound is initially mapped and recognized. It's like the initial sorting table in our library, where books are first categorized by their basic attributes before being shelved. A high-frequency signal, perhaps from a distant bird's delicate chirp, is recognized for its piercing quality, while the low-frequency signal from the comforting hum of your fan is perceived for its deep, resonant nature. But your auditory cortex is far more sophisticated than a simple receiver. It doesn't just register the basic elements of sound, it weaves them together into a rich, complex tapestry. From the primary auditory cortex, the information flows to surrounding areas, known as the auditory association cortex. These regions are the true artists of sound perception. They take the basic pitch and loudness information and integrate it with your memories, your emotions, and your past experiences. Think of it this way: when you hear a melody, your brain doesn't just register a sequence of notes, it recognizes the song, perhaps associates it with a cherished memory, or feels a particular emotion. When you hear a loved one's voice, your brain doesn't just process a collection of frequencies, it identifies the unique timbre of their voice, recognizes their words, and understands their emotional tone. This complex integration is the work of your auditory association cortex. Comparing new incoming signals with the vast archive of what you have heard throughout your life, it's like the experienced artist in our studio, not just mixing colors, but painting a scene that evokes emotion and tells a story. This process of perception is where the sound truly comes alive for you. Before this point, sound was just physical vibration, then electrical impulses. It had no inherent meaning, no personal resonance. It was merely data. But within your auditory cortex, that data is transformed into a subjective experience. The sweetness of music, the soothing quality of rain, the alarming clang of a dropped object, or the comforting cadence of a familiar voice. This transformation happens in a fraction of a second, seamlessly, continuously, bringing the external world into your internal awareness. Consider the phenomenon of selective hearing. In a bustling, noisy environment, your brain has the remarkable ability to tune in to a specific conversation or sound, while relegating the rest to background noise. This isn't just about your ears, it's a higher level processing function within your auditory cortex, actively filtering and prioritizing auditory information based on your attention and intention. It's like a conductor gently guiding the orchestra, bringing certain instruments to the forefront while softening others into a background accompaniment. A general historical fact that might deepen your appreciation for this marvel. For centuries, the nature of sound was debated by philosophers and early scientists. Many believed sound was the vibration itself, an external entity. It took centuries of careful observation and scientific inquiry to truly understand that while vibrations are the cause of sound, the actual perception of sound happens within the intricate, hidden depths of the brain. The inner workings of hearing remained a profound mystery for much of human history. Here's a lesser-known detail about the auditory cortex. While certain areas are primarily responsible for basic pitch perception, other areas specialize in processing more complex auditory features, such as the temporal order of sounds, the sequence in which sounds occur, or the localization of sound in space where a sound is coming from. Your brain is constantly, subconsciously, creating a three-dimensional map of your auditory environment, even as you rest peacefully. It's like a quiet cartographer, meticulously drawing an invisible map of your sonic surroundings. And for an ongoing academic debate, neuroscientists are still actively researching how the brain separates different sound sources in a complex auditory scene, a phenomenon known as the cocktail party effect. How does your brain manage to pick out a single voice from a room full of chatter and other noises? The exact neural mechanisms involved in this incredibly sophisticated feat of auditory processing remain a fascinating area of study, a testament to the enduring mysteries of the human brain. So, as you continue to drift, imagine the final, beautiful blossoming of sound within your mind. Those gentle whispers, those silent impulses, have now reached their destination, where they are lovingly transformed into the rich, meaningful auditory experiences that lull you towards deeper rest. Allow your mind to simply exist within this profound tapestry of perception, knowing that your remarkable brain is effortlessly weaving the world's vibrations into a serene lullaby just for you. This culmination of wonder, where echoes truly become sound, is the perfect invitation to surrender to the peaceful quiet of slumber. You're floating in that wonderfully receptive space between wakefulness and slumber, a place where your own unique perceptions can gently unfurl. We've journeyed deep within, tracing the path of sound from an unseen vibration to a recognized signal within your brain's auditory cortex. Now, let's linger in a particularly beautiful truth, the understanding that while the physical process of hearing is universal, the experience of it, the very soundscape you inhabit, is profoundly, wonderfully personal. This is the realm of your own unique sound universe. Imagine, if you will, two people standing side by side, listening to the same gentle evening breeze rustling through the leaves of a nearby tree. The physical sound waves, the compressions and rarefactions of air, are identical for both. They both share the same delicate dance of eardrum vibration, the same graceful relay of ossicles, the same fluid waves in the cochlea, and the same electrical whispers traveling along their auditory nerves. Yet, what each person hears, what each person experiences as the sound of the breeze, can be subtly, beautifully different. This difference lies in the intricate personal landscape of their brains, particularly within the higher processing areas of the auditory cortex and beyond. Your brain doesn't just passively receive sound, it actively constructs it, weaving together the incoming sensory data with a rich tapestry of memories, emotions, past experiences, and even your current mood. For one person, the rustle might evoke a comforting memory of a childhood swing set, bringing a wave of nostalgia and peace. For another, it might simply be a neutral background hum. For a third, Perhaps someone who has lived through a stormy night? It might carry a faint echo of unease. The physical stimulus is the same, but the internal interpretation is uniquely colored by the individual. Think of it like two artists looking at the same landscape. They both see the same trees, the same sky, the same distant hills. But one might paint it with broad, sweeping strokes and vibrant colors, reflecting a feeling of joy and expansiveness. The other might use muted tones and intricate details, capturing a sense of quiet introspection. The raw visual data is shared, but the artistic interpretation, shaped by their inner world, is entirely distinct. Your sound universe is precisely this kind of personal masterpiece, constantly being painted by the unique brushstrokes of your own mind. Consider the phenomenon of pitch perception. While there are standard frequencies for musical notes, how you perceive that specific pitch can be influenced by various factors, including your age, your previous exposure to music, and even subtle individual variations in your cochlear structure. For some, a specific note might feel bright and clear, while for others it might feel warm and mellow. There's no single correct way to hear a pitch. There's only your unique way, a testament to the beautiful diversity of human perception. Then there's the incredibly powerful connection between sound and emotion. A particular piece of music can instantly transport you to another time and place, evoking feelings of joy, sorrow, excitement, or calm. The gentle, rhythmic hum of a washing machine might be boring to one, but deeply comforting to another, reminding them of the quiet domesticity of home. These emotional resonances are not inherent in the sound waves themselves. They are woven into the fabric of your experience by your brain, linking specific auditory patterns to the vast network of your personal history and emotional landscape. This personal sound universe also extends to how you filter and prioritize sounds. In a noisy environment, your brain performs incredible feats of auditory selection, allowing you to focus on a particular conversation while simultaneously tuning out a myriad of other sounds. This cocktail party effect, as it's known, is a profound example of your brain actively shaping your auditory reality, deciding what comes to the forefront of your attention and what gently fades into the background. It's a continuous, subconscious act of curation, ensuring that your unique soundscape serves your immediate needs and preferences. A general historical fact that highlights the subjective nature of sound. For centuries, it was believed that certain sounds, like particular musical intervals or chords, were inherently beautiful or dissonant based on simple mathematical ratios or divine order. However, cross-cultural studies and evolving musical tastes have shown that much of what we perceive as pleasant or unpleasant in sound is culturally learned and deeply subjective. What sounds harmonious to one culture might be jarring to another, underscoring that even our appreciation of music is a personal construct. Here's a lesser-known detail about your unique sound universe. Your brain is incredibly adept at filling in gaps in auditory information. If a sound is partially obscured or a word is muffled, your brain often unconsciously completes the sound based on context and expectation. This means that you might literally hear a full, clear sound, even when the actual acoustic input is incomplete. A testament to your brain's active, predictive role in perception. It's like your mind is a gentle artist, quietly sketching in the missing lines of an auditory drawing to make it whole. And for an ongoing academic debate, neuroscientists are still exploring the precise neural mechanisms by which tinnitus, a persistent ringing or buzzing in the ears, arises. While it often has a physical origin, the perception and experience of tinnitus are deeply rooted in the brain's unique processing of auditory information, sometimes even involving the brain creating sounds in the absence of external stimuli. Understanding tinnitus is a profound challenge that delves into the very personal and subjective nature of our internal sound worlds. So, as you continue to drift deeper into the peaceful quiet, gently consider the beautiful, intricate sound universe that resides within you. Every whisper, every hum, every note you hear is not just a physical phenomenon. It is a unique creation of your own remarkable brain, colored by your memories, shaped by your emotions, and understood in a way that is profoundly, wonderfully yours. There's no right or wrong way to hear, only your way, a personal symphony playing softly within the quiet chambers of your mind. Allow this understanding to wash over you, a gentle wave carrying your consciousness into the serene depths of peaceful slumber, knowing that your sound universe is a safe, beautiful place for your rest. You're floating in an expansive tranquility, the gentle currents of your imagination carrying you beyond the familiar boundaries of what you know. We've explored how sound comes to be heard, and how your own mind paints its unique auditory landscape. Now, let's gently stretch our understanding even further, considering a profound and humbling truth that the universe vibrates with an ocean of sound far vaster than what your ears can ever perceive. This is the quiet mystery of echoes from the deepest silence, where the world whispers in frequencies beyond our natural reach. Imagine your hearing as a delicate window, opening onto a vast, vibrant garden of sound. Through this window, you perceive the beautiful melodies of birds, the comforting rhythm of human voices, the soothing rustle of leaves. But this window, remarkable as it is, only captures a very specific slice of the universe's total auditory spectrum. Just as your eyes perceive only a narrow band of visible light within the much larger electromagnetic spectrum, your ears are attuned to a limited range of vibrations in the air. Below the lowest rumble that your ear can register lies the realm of infrasound. These are vibrations with frequencies so incredibly low, they are almost like the slow, deep breath of the earth itself. You cannot consciously hear infrasound, but you might feel it. Elephants communicate using infrasound, sending deep, rumbling messages across miles of savanna, vibrations that travel through the ground and air, far below the range of human hearing. Whales use it to navigate the vast, silent depths of the ocean. Natural phenomena like distant earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or even powerful storms generate infrasound that can travel for thousands of miles, unseen, unheard, yet profoundly powerful. It's like standing near a giant, unseen bell that tolls so slowly and deeply. Its sound is more a deep tremor in your chest than an audible note. And above the highest, most piercing shriek your ear can detect lies the world of ultrasound. These are vibrations with frequencies so incredibly high, they are beyond the range of human perception, too rapid for our delicate eardrums to discern. Bats. Those nocturnal navigators of the sky use ultrasound to see in the dark, emitting high-frequency chirps and listening for the echoes that bounce back from tiny insects or obstacles. Dolphins and whales use sophisticated ultrasound to communicate and hunt in the murky depths of the ocean. Medical imaging, like the gentle scan of an unborn child, relies on focused ultrasound waves to paint a picture of unseen internal landscapes. It's like a secret language, spoken in tones too high for our ears, revealing hidden worlds to those who possess the right kind of sensitivity. This profound realization that the world is alive with countless vibrations beyond our conscious perception invites a deep sense of humility and wonder. It means that the silence you sometimes perceive is not truly empty. It's simply filled with sounds that your beautiful biological design isn't equipped to interpret. Quiet whispers playing out in frequencies that lie just beyond the edge of your window of hearing. The universe is speaking, continuously, in a symphony of pitches both too low and too high for your ears to comprehend, a testament to its boundless complexity and hidden marvels. It's a deeply strange idea, yet also incredibly comforting, to know that even in moments of profound stillness, the very air around you is teeming with activity, with unseen energies, with silent conversations happening at wavelengths you cannot grasp. This hidden auditory world reminds us that our perception of reality is just one small, precious slice of a much grander, more intricate whole. It encourages us to find beauty not just in what we can immediately experience, but in the vast unseen potential that lies beyond our immediate grasp. A general historical fact that illustrates our evolving understanding. For much of history, Humans only understood sound within the very narrow range of their own hearing. The concept of ultrasound or infrasound simply didn't exist until scientific instruments were developed that could detect and measure these previously imperceptible vibrations. This expansion of our sensory world through technology continually reminds us how much more there is to learn and perceive about the universe. Here's a lesser-known detail about these unheard sounds. Some animals, like certain birds, are sensitive to subtle changes in infrasound patterns that precede storms or natural disasters. They can, in effect, hear the approach of a weather system long before any human, using their specialized auditory systems to pick up on these deep, low-frequency rumblings. It's like having a natural, organic weather forecasting system built into their very being, quietly listening to the Earth's profound whispers. And for an ongoing academic debate, scientists are still researching the full extent of how infrasound might subtly affect human beings. Even if we don't consciously hear it, could very low-frequency vibrations, perhaps from large-scale natural phenomena or industrial machinery, have subtle impacts on our mood, our physiology, or even our sense of unease, without us ever knowing the exact auditory cause? It's a fascinating area of study that delves into the profound, unseen connections between our environment and our well-being. So, as you drift now, gently enveloped by the quiet of your space, allow your mind to expand to the edges of this silent symphony. Feel the profound peace that comes from knowing the world is speaking in a myriad of ways, even beyond your hearing. Let the whispers of infrasound and the delicate calls of ultrasound, existing in their own hidden realms, lull you into a deeper understanding of the universe's quiet complexity. There's so much more to discover, even in the stillness. And this boundless wonder is the perfect companion for your journey into the deepest, most restorative sleep. You're at the very edge of wakefulness now, poised delicately between the gentle hum of the fading world and the profound quiet of approaching slumber. We have embarked on a remarkable journey together, tracing the path of sound from its very beginnings as an invisible vibration, through the delicate mechanisms of your outer, middle, and inner ear, into the intricate processing centers of your brain, and even glimpsing the vast universe of sounds beyond our human perception. Now, let's bring this wondrous exploration to a gentle close, connecting the art of hearing with the quiet surrender of sleep. Recall the softest sound that first invited you on this journey, perhaps the gentle patter of rain, the faint rustle of leaves, or the steady, comforting hum of a quiet fan. That sound began as a simple, unseen tremor in the air, a subtle displacement of particles, like a soft breath exhaled into the stillness. This initial vibration then rippled outwards, creating a delicate wave of compressions and rarefactions, patiently traveling through the vast, invisible ocean of air that surrounds us all. It was not a grand, dramatic entrance, but a gentle, persistent persuasion, a quiet invitation to listen. This gentle sound wave then reached the beautifully sculpted curves of your outer ear, a natural funnel designed to gather and guide these subtle whispers inward. It journeyed down the tranquil ear canal, arriving at the delicate eardrum, which, like a perfectly tuned membrane, began to tremble in harmony with the incoming waves. This quiet dance of the eardrum transferred the energy to the tiniest bones in your body, the ossicles, which, with elegant precision, amplified and transmitted the vibration deeper into the hidden chambers of your ear. From there, the sound transformed again, becoming a subtle wave within the fluid-filled spiral of your cochlea. It flowed like a secret river, gently nudging the delicate basilar membrane, causing it to ripple in a unique pattern for each specific pitch. And along this rippling membrane, the tiny, ethereal hair cells, like a field of microscopic reeds, gently swayed and bent. With each subtle movement, these remarkable cells generated whisper-thin electrical signals, converting the physical language of vibration into the silent, intricate language of your nervous system. These silent electrical signals then embarked on their final, crucial journey, traveling along the vast network of the auditory nerve. They ascended through various quiet processing centers in your brainstem and midbrain, each acting as a meticulous sorting hub, subtly refining and organizing the incoming information. They identified the direction of the sound, filtered out extraneous noise, and prepared the raw data for its ultimate interpretation. It was a flawless, continuous relay, happening far beyond your conscious awareness, ensuring that every nuance of the sound was preserved. And finally, these refined signals reached the magnificent auditory cortex in your brain, that grand, sprawling library where raw impulses are transformed into meaningful perception. Here, the echoes truly became sound, a recognized melody, a familiar voice, a comforting hum. Your brain, with its vast tapestry of memories and emotions, painted a unique personal landscape of sound, allowing you to not just hear, but to experience the world's gentle whispers in a way that is profoundly, wonderfully yours. Even the sounds beyond your hearing, the silent infrasound and the delicate ultrasound, hinted at a universe of vibrations far grander than we can perceive. A continuous symphony playing just at the edge of our awareness. Now, as you stand at the threshold of sleep, feel how this entire intricate process, this beautiful journey of sound within you, mirrors the quiet surrender of falling asleep. Just as your ears gently receive the invisible waves of the world, your mind now gently releases its hold on waking thoughts, allowing them to drift away like soft clouds on a silent breeze. You don't force sleep. Just as your ear doesn't force sound, you simply allow it to come, to wash over you, to carry you, the rhythmic breathing of your own body, the soft settling of your surroundings, the faint, comforting sounds that still reach you now, are like the final, gentle undulations of a fading sound wave, softly guiding you deeper. Each exhale is like a rarefaction, a spreading out, a release. Each inhale a subtle compression, a gentle gathering of peace. Allow your consciousness to flow with this natural rhythm, surrendering to the gentle ebb and flow, just as the tiny hair cells surrender to the fluid's wave. There is a profound beauty in this passive reception, this quiet letting go. The complexities of how you hear, how your brain constructs your auditory world, are now fading into the background, becoming a seamless part of the pervasive calm. The constant processing, the intricate translations, are no longer needed. All that remains is the simple, profound peace of being, of floating effortlessly on the quiet currents of slumber. So, gently, allow your mind to drift. Let the understanding of these beautiful scientific truths, woven into a poetic tapestry, lull you deeper and deeper. The sounds around you, whether heard or unheard, are now merely whispers on the wind, soft companions on your journey. Feel the peaceful silence expanding, embracing you, as you surrender fully to the profound, restorative power of sleep. Your unique sound universe is now a quiet haven, cradling you in its gentle embrace as you drift into the deepest, most serene rest.